everyone, welcome back to Global Scope News. I am Mohsen Ali and today we are going to talk about a very important interview with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. This interview aired on CBC News 60 Minutes and covered many critical topics including immigration, Ukraine, economy, and even gun ownership. With election day just a month away, it's vital to understand where she stands on these issues. So, let's jump right in and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. In a recent interview on CBC News, Vice President Kamala Harris faced a series of tough questions from reporter Bill. This interview is particularly significant because it comes as Harris increases her media appearances. There has been criticism that she has not done enough interviews lately. So, this was her chance to address important issues. One of the most important topic discussed was Israel. When anchor asked Harris if she considered Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu a strong ally of the United States, his response was carefully worded. Instead of directly agreeing, she emphasized the ongoing diplomatic work between the U.S. and Israel. Harris said, "The work that we do diplomatically with the leaderships of Israel is an ongoing pursuit around making clear our principles." This statement suggests that there are challenges in the U.S. Israel relationship, especially after the recent public disagreements. Harris continued by highlighting the importance of the bond between the American people and the Israeli people. She confidently stated, and the answer to that question is yes. This response indicates that despite any political disagreements, the fundamental friendship between the two nations remains strong. Next, the conversation shifted to immigration, an issue that has sparked intense debate in the U.S. Whitaker praised Harris on her administration's immigration policies. He asked if it was a mistake to loosen border restrictions that were in place during Trump presidency. This question is crucial because immigration is a hot button topic, especially in the lead up election. Harris defended her administration's approach by saying that immigration is a long-standing problem that requires thoughtful solution. It's a long-standing problem, and the solutions are at hand. She insisted. She shifted the blame onto Trump, suggesting that his policies created more issues for the current administration. When pressed further about whether it was a mistake to allow a flood of migrants to cross the border, Harris stated, "The policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting our problems." She asserted that she and President Biden have successfully cut illegal immigration by half since taking office. This claims reflects the administration's commitment to addressing immigration issues while defending its policies against criticism from the Republican side. The conversation then moved on to the war in Ukraine. Harris made it very clear that she would not sit down for talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin unless Ukraine officials were present at the table. These statements show a strong commitment to supporting Ukraine and sending a clear message to Russia. During the interview, Harris criticized Trump's stance on the Ukraine conflict. She said, he talks about, oh, he can end it on day one. You know what that is? It's about surrender. This commitment underscores Harris believes that negotiating with Putin without involving Ukraine would undermine their sovereignty and strengthen Russia's position. She added that if Trump were still president, Putin would be in Kiev right now, indicating her belief that Trump policies could have led to a more significant Russian invasion. Moving on, the discussions return to Harris' economic plans. She addressed concerns about how her administration would finance its initiatives, especially since some estimates suggest her plan could add $3 trillion to the national deficit over the next decade. In response to the Harris said, my economic plan would strengthen America's economy. His would weaken it, referring to Trump's economic proposals. Harris explains that her plan focuses on strengthening small businessmen. She emphasized the importance of supporting small businesses to boost the economy and create more jobs. When pressed about how she would pay for these plans, Harris stated that she would raise taxes on the richest among us who can afford it. This approach, with the Democrats' party's traditionally stance on wealth distributions and ensuring that the wealthy contribute to the country's financial health. A new analyst by the Committee for the Responsible Federal Budget adds another layer to this discussion. This non-partisan group found that Trump's economic proposals would add $7.5 trillion to the national debt, also double the projected $3.5 trillion increase from Harris' plans. This information emphasizes the significant differences between the two candidates regarding fiscal policy and managing the national debt. In the more personal segments of the interview, Harris talks about gun ownership. She revealed that she owns a Glock pistol, highlighting her background in law enforcement as a former district attorney in California. Harris stated, I have had it for quite some time. And when asked if she had ever fired it, she laughed and said, of course, I have. At a shooting range. This part of the interview adds a personal touch, showing Harris' familiarity with firearms while also connecting to the border conversation about gun rights and safety in America. Also appearing on the program was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who is Harris' running mate. He criticized Trump for his controversial remarks about his opponents and migrants, calling them dehumanization was emphasized. The need for respectful political discourse, stating, let's try to debate policy in a real way and let's try to find objective truth again. This statement reinforces the idea that political discussions should focus on facts and respectful dialogue rather than insults and divisiveness. Interestingly, while Trump was invited to appear on 60 Minutes, he initially accepted but later declined. His campaign labeled this situation as fake news, highlighting the ongoing tensions between the Trump and the media. This behavior is more often as Trump previous encounters with journalists, where he often expressed frustration with challenging questions. In a touching moment before this interview, Harris commemorated those affected by the October 7 attack on Israel. She planted a pomegranate tree at the Vice President's residence in Washington, symbolizing hope and resilience. Harris expressed that this tree would remind future Vice President of the all of the horrors of that day, while also honoring the strength and endurance of the Jewish people. In the conclusion, this interview with Kamala Harris provides valuable insights into her administration's positions on key issues as election day draw near, with important topics like immigration, foreign policies, and economic strategies at the forefront. It's evident that Harris is preparing for a tough election battle. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more updates on political news and analysis. I will see you next time on Global Scope News. Until the next video, take care.